Díomh Chúrsaí. Today I'm going to run through the lesson, easily confused words, similar sounding words. So these are words that maybe look very similarly when they're written down, and they also sound similar as well. And just to run through their meaning and why they are actually pronounced differently and how we can tell. So a lot of this has to do with groups of vowels, with Shíneadh fada, so the line above the vowels that makes the sound long. So if you do want to have a look in more depth into pronunciation, a really good resource would be the Gach Irish pronunciation course, which you have access to as a Bitesize member. And so in that we go through all the different verb, almost all the different verb groupings, long and short vowels and that sort of things. And I think it will give you a really good basis, especially after you have a look at this course. Things will start to click. So I'll run through it now. And if you have any questions, obviously always ask. So the first group that we are going to look at here is Kahir, Kahir, and Kahir. So we'll just have a look at the words down here first. So we have Kahir, 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 Kahir. So we hear the slender or at the end, so that at the end, the Kahir, Kahir. And they all have that. They all have a slender I at the end, making the or slender. So Kahir is a city. Kahir. And then we have four. And so the only difference here is that E before the A. And it changes it significantly. I mean, it's a different word. It means something completely different. So then we have Kahir. Kahir. And so we see here in our pronunciation grid that it sounds like a kya, Kahir, Kahir. Can you hear the difference between Kahir and Kahir? Kahir, Kahir, Kahir. And then our third word, so it's similar to the beginning of Kahir, but then our ending is different. So our A-O-I here gives us an E sound. E. So we have Kahir, Kahir, Kahir. So we saw that the T-H-A-I-R gave us more of a her sound, and the T-H-A-O-I-R gave us a hear sound. So I'll pop these notes with the lesson as well. And then we have some sentences here that use the words, which put them a bit more into context. So is Kahir in Erin Gaeilge? Is Kahir in Erin Gaeilge? Galway is a city in Ireland. And now we have Kahir, a hain, a dó, a trí, a Kahir, a Kahir. Fai Kahir dom le de hell? Fai Kahir dom le de hell? Kahir, get me a chair please. Fai Kahir dom le de hell. So we see there that all three begin with that hard C, the ka. And then we've already gone through this, but the only difference really between Kahir and Kahir is the Y, the Kahir. And then the Kahir, the here. So it sounds already like Kahir, as we said, but we have the here at the end, the A-O-I-R. And our next two words that we're going to look at are Lauer and Lauer. So we already had a look with Kahir and Kahir. The only difference there was that Y glide, Kahir, Kahir, Kahir. And it's similar here with Lauer and Lauer. We'll have a look at them here. So Lauer is to speak, and Lauer is a book. So Lauer, speak, Lauer, book. Lauer Gaeilge lum, speak Irish to me. Lauer Gaeilge lum. And then tá mé ag léamh leabhar as Gaeilge. Tá mé ag léamh leabhar as Gaeilge. I'm reading a book in Irish. So again, we have Lauer and leabhar. Lauer, leabhar. And now we come to another one. So this one might be a bit more, might be a bit easier for you because the spellings are quite different. So they have more differences between them. So if we look at them here, we have Moonshore, teacher, Moonshore, Moonshore. And so we see here that we have a long vowel here. So we have a oo, Moonshore. And then here we don't have a long vowel, so it changes the sound. This means it's your family, your extended family, or your people. And the UI here sounds like win, winter, winter. So if we have a look over here, so our differences are Moonshore and winter. And our moon goes and our U father sounds like moo, moon. And then chore or tior. And then if we look at our winter, it's like an win. So we see that the long vowel here, the moo, almost has its own syllable. It's not very obvious. It's more like a half syllable, if that's a thing. So it's like Moonshore, Moonshore. I mean, you could definitely get away with saying Moonshore, and that's totally fine. But just to be a little bit more correct or a little bit more exact, it would be Moonshore, Moonshore, and then winter. So we see the win is just the U kind of turns into a W sound there. And so again, we have a tip here. So moon is to teach. Moon is to teach. So that might help you remember Moonshore. And then we come to Erin and Erin. So these are very similar, and I'd say 50% of people probably say one or the other for both. And that's, totally fine. These things happen. And as long as we say in Bitesize, as long as everyone understands what you're saying, it's okay. But if we're going to be exact, we're going to be exact. So we have Erin, 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 here, Erin, and Erin, Erin. So we see here that it's more of a neutral vowel. So Erin, 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 and Erin, Erin, Erin. Erin, Erin, and then Erin, Erin. Is bratach na hairan isha Is bratach na hÉireann seo. So this is the flag of Ireland. Bratach na hÉireann. And then is as éireann mé. Is as éireann mé. So here we see that we use Erin, for the genitive, bratach na hÉireann, and then is as éireann mé is for the tishel torha, or the dative, éireann. So as we said, éireann is the genitive case, and éireann is the dative case. So now we're going to move on to slender and broad endings. So for this, we're going to look at the word ahar. So ahar in the nominative has a slender ending. So the I before the or makes the or slender, and that's the sort of the sound that you can hear after the or. So is a maher a, is a maher a. So you can hear the I and the after the or. So that's our slender ending there. And then seo é teach maher. Seo é teach maher. So this is broad. The or there is broad. Teach maher. So from the nominative here of ahar, we go to ahar for the genitive. Teach maher, my father's house. So that's our genitive. Having a look again, so we have ahar for father, the nominative, and then ahar, and that would be the genitive. So here we have a little note about slender endings. So slender endings have the most variation between dialects. In Ulster, for example, there's not much difference between the two. In Connacht, which is probably the most influence that I've had, it sounds like a D, so that's the at the end that I have. If you want to hear it in more depth, maybe Siobhan or Owen has more of a pronounced slender or, and then in Munster it's like it's and that would be Owen's pronunciation. So here we can listen. So this is the Munster pronunciation here. If you want to have a listen. Ahar. Okay. So now we're moving on to four and four. Sorry, I said that the wrong way around. So it's four and four. So four is I got or got. It's the Amsher Katja of fi, of the irregular verb fi. So if we just we won't look at this because it's actually slightly incorrect there. So four. So we have an actual slender there. So four me litter o machara inye. Four me litter o machara inye. Four. And then we move on to the four. So tá sé four amwe. It's cold outside, tá sé four amwe. ach fuair, 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 mé litir. So again, here we have fuair, fuair, and fuair, fuair. So I hope that this has helped, that you can come back to this whenever you're having a bit of a, whenever you come to some words that you aren't quite sure of, how to pronounce them. You can come back to this, and then you can also go to the Crack Irish pronunciation. The next lesson is Easily Confused and Similar Sounding Words Part 2, where you get more examples, and we have another in this series as well. So, slán fó agus go n-éirí an talamh.